period
Okay.
for the year. So and fortunately some of these kits, they are available on the shelf. We can just pick, for instance, irrigation kit, drip irrigation kit that farmers can just lay, and then the irrigation will help them to start the production. When the rain comes, fine, the rain will just take over from that point. And if there is any drought in between, if there's any dry spell, then the irrigation comes up again. So you have nothing to lose if
Either way,
we are able to do that.
Okay. Now let's get into the real gist of the matter. Climate change and food security. We know that food security is when all people at all times, have the available food, They say we're able to meet our dietary needs, and food preferences. That's basically what food security is, for a healthy life. And then we know that climate change is the issue of high temperatures and afforestation. All these are factors that are related to. But let's come to food security. With NIMET, with what we know as climate change, and with what we know as food security, you just spoke about irrigation, which is a way out. What can we do in terms of what kind of things we produce at the times what things are available, so that whether is it integrated farming, I don't know, you're the expert, Mr. Yeshola.
Yes, excellent. At this time, when it is good in one side, it may be bad on the other side. But precisely when you are talking of food security and climate change affects food security in four parameters. It will affect food availability, affordability, accessibility, and the food nutrient. For instance, with the predictions now, there will be late onset. Automatically, if there is no availability of irrigation, like you said, it will affect food availability. And during even the period, if food is even available,
it might be high.
Maybe high because of cost of inputting irrigation and some other thing. So it will affect food affordability. Even you can even afford it, but how to assess it? At times we will witness what we call flash floods. It doesn't mean because we say legislation, dry spell, and so it does not mean we witness it. Even
isolated flash floods would come up.
Yes, and that is floods. When you are transporting to produce out, then the thing just cut off. It cut off the town from the rural area where the food is coming from. So you affect the food accessibility. Now the food nutrients aspect of it, try to get it now that since you will not be able to get it out, it may affect the food nutrient because of, especially from some perishable.
I was going to say so, like product. Fruits and things like that.
Excellent. Yes. So what I say in nutshell is that the positiveness, there is a way out where we call area of mitigation and adaptation. The adaptation aspect is what you are just mentioning. Part of it now is that you plant early maturing crops so that within that very period, at least it will have been matured. For instance, in early onset of Ogun State is being predicted between March 21st.
Okay.
And between that period and April or May, before it will now stable, you can plant whatever you want to plant.
Things like what?
Like leguminous crop.
Okay.
Watermelon. Those crops that need less water, they can thrive at that period.
Okay.
So that would be a very great advantage. You just need to run away from all those crops that they need more water, like these three crops, like cocoa or palm, that they need water to survive. But there's some other crops, watermelon and all those melon, all these leguminous crop that can easily fix nitrogen too. Those are the great advantage of those crops that have a comparable to be planted now, irrespective of the prediction. But majorly, we also have to think of that. You don't plant everything simultaneously. Since we are expecting dry spell, you space your planting.
Okay.
If the farmer has, like average farmers in Nigeria or even in Africa or in the world, have 2 hectares, you don't plant all at the same time. Even the larger farms, except you have irrigation. I don't want to make emphasis on the irrigation because people say it's expensive. There's what we also call water harvesting. From the flood you are getting, there's always a small dish that the farmers can easily do within themselves. Store those water instead of causing a runoff that's causing some effect elsewhere. So those are another advantage. Then at the same time, when you don't plant all the crops at the same time, at least not all of them will fall into the dry spell.
True.
You spread the risk. You are spreading the risk. And the last time is that early maturing, you spread the risk, you have a kind of irrigation or water harvesting. Those are the key affordable within the limit of the local farmers.
Okay.
So that we're able to start adjusting and adapting to the present situation.
Dr. Oyedepo, I'm sure
yeah.
you want to say something.
Yes, I just want to buttress what he has been saying, that there are other things that we can do, because we discover that we waste resources a lot. You will discover that those who are into production, many of them are in the rural areas, and they are constrained. They are resource constrained generally. So there is a possibility of going into urban agriculture at the backyard of everybody. What I see today is that almost everywhere is concreted. You don't want weeds to be growing in your compound, and so you cement everywhere.
Paving stones.
It's not the best, because if you can produce vegetable at the back of your house, you are adding to the food availability that we're talking about. So we should encourage our people to do something like that. In countries where they don't have land, like Japan, they are the ones that develop things like hydroponics, that's where there is no land. They're able to still produce. In countries like Israel, where the entire, almost everywhere is a rocky desert, they are producing. So we should learn from that and encourage our people to also go into backyard farming.
All right, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Oyèṣọlá.
Yes, sir.
Gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ẹ ti sọ yìí ó dùn, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn àgbẹ̀ tá à ń sọ fún, mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé ìdá 60 nínú 100 wọn ò gbóyìnbó.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń fún wa lóúnjẹ lásìkò yìí kì í ṣe àwọn àgbẹ̀ aládàá ńlá. Àwọn àgbẹ̀ aládàá ńlá ń ṣoko tí wọ́n ń bí, tó bá ti parí ẹ̀ wọn ọlọ́run ni. Àwọn tó ń gbé oúnjẹ wá sí Kútọ̀, Àdátán, Ẹlẹ́gà, Láfẹnwá, àwọn àgbẹ̀ kéréje ni o. Àwọn ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká bá sọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo àlàyé tẹ́ ẹ ti ṣe lédè òyìnbó yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe fún wọn lédè Yorùbá.
Ẹ ṣeun olóòtú, màá gbìyànjú. Ní tá à ń sọ fún àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa ni pé ojú ọjọ́ ó ti yí padà. Àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa náà gbẹ́dẹ̀ wọ̀ máa yí padà pẹ̀lú ojú ọjọ́ yẹn.
Ojú ọjọ́.
Báyìí ni mo ṣe ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀, ó ti yàtọ̀. Ilé iṣẹ́ kan wà tá à ń pè ní NEMIT, àwọn náà máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ bí ojú ọjọ́ ṣe rí. Wọ́n ti jáde pẹ̀lú ìpèníjà fún wa lọ́dún yìí pé nǹkan báyìí o bójú ṣe máa rí lọ́dún yìí rè. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti sọ pé òjò yẹn ò ní tètè dé o. Then ọ̀dá tún máa dá tó máa pọ̀, then ó máa tún tètè lọ. Ṣé ń bo la fẹ́ lọ? So nǹkan táwa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ok, àgbẹ̀ má jàyà o. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ wà tá à ń pè ní adaptation. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tó wà níbi ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé a lè lo irrigation. Ṣùgbọ́n irrigation lè wò pé ọ̀gbẹ́ni yẹn oko mélòó mo ní ti fẹ́ wọn lọ wá owó yẹn dẹ̀ máa wọ́n. Irrigation mi ni pé àbúyá bí ẹ ṣe lè wá bí omi ṣe lè máa dé oko yín. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa máa gbà yín níyànjú nǹkan 4 tí máa sọ ní ìsìn. Àkọ́kọ́ ń bẹ̀ ni pé ká pé ẹ fẹ́ gbin bí éka 5 àgbàdo tó nídìí omi.
Tó nílò omi.
Omi. Ẹ má gbin gbogbo ẹ̀ sí ọwọ́ kan náà. Ẹ lè kọ́kọ́ gbin bí éka 2, kẹ́tù gbin éka 2, kẹ́tù gbẹyọ kan láti bí oṣù kẹta tàbí oṣù kẹta ọdún yìí. Ẹ lè kọ́kọ́ gbin 2 éka 2. Tó bá máa di bí irú oṣù kẹrin síkà ẹ̀tún 2 ẹ lè wá gbẹyọ kan tó kù. Láàárín ẹ̀ kò sí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa kó sáà ọ̀dà o. Àǹtí ó dẹ̀ máa tún jẹ́ kó rògbò yín kó túbọ̀ da, because ẹni tẹ́ bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ò ní wá rọ́ sí ọwọ́ kan náà. Ṣé pé tí wọ́n bá ń gbìn gbà yẹn náà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá rọ́ sí ọwọ́ kan náà á tún jáde sí ọwọ́ kan náà. So àwa fọ́ wọ́n á náwọn jẹ gbèsè ṣùgbọ́n opportunity lélẹ́yìn náà pé ẹ má gbin gbogbo ẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ kan náà tí máa ra gbin méjì màá tún gbin méjì màá tún gbẹ pápátá bóyá méjì tìbí ló máa kó sáárín màá dẹ̀ rí tàkọ́kọ́ yẹn tà dáadáa màá tún
àti ti gbẹ̀yìn náà tà
lẹ́yìn tà so a cover fún
The middle.
ètò wà láàrin ẹ̀ ìmí ìtú ni pé àti ní kẹ́ bá ń kó sọ́wọ́ kan náà tí ẹ bá àgbàrá ó máa ń ṣàn àgbàrá tó ń ṣàn yẹn nínú etí oko yín ẹgbẹ́ kòtò bí ìgbà tẹ́ ń ṣe bíi kànga tó máa tóbi díẹ̀ àgbàrá tó bá ti ń ṣàn yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kó máa ṣàn à ń pè ní water harvesting bí wọ́n máa ń ṣe láyé àtijọ́ náà níbi orí páànù tó máa ṣe ọ̀ṣọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n máa fa kíní ọ̀ṣọ̀rọ̀ síbẹ̀ tómi bá ti dé adẹ̀mọ̀ra kó síbẹ̀ dẹ̀ni ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọ̀gá wa ní yunifásitì síìdì tó yá kọ́mọ́ kóbó ti wà early maturing
Crops.
then irú àwọn yẹn tẹ bá yìí ti gbìn kó tó di pé ọ̀dà yẹn dá ó máa ṣe kí ni ó máa já so ọ̀nà àbáyọ yẹn ó pọ̀ tẹ bá sì wà sílé ṣe àṣe lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fún yín ṣùgbọ́n ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bí bóyá ká tó kúrò ní àyè bá gbà àwọn olóòtú bá gbà á láàyè àyè sọ bó ṣe jẹ́ fún Ògùn state local government bíi 20 local government láti ní lọ́wọ́ tá a sì ṣe iṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ láti lé iṣẹ́ ọ̀dọ̀ wa.
ẹ ṣe pọ̀ ọmọwé Oyèdépò ọ̀rọ̀ ti gbọ́ yẹn oríṣi àgbẹ̀ méjì ló wà àgbẹ̀ alároko jẹ àgbẹ̀ aládàá ńlá yàtọ̀ sí léyìí àwọn àgbẹ̀ kan wà tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀dọ̀ tiyín làwọn nígbàgbọ́ nú ẹ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ alákọ̀wé àti àgbẹ̀ kòlàkòṣagbe lọ́dọ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ alákọ̀wé kí ni ìmọ̀ràn yín pẹ̀lú àlàyé kágbìn báyìí.
Wọ́n ti mẹ́nuba díẹ̀ nínú àwọn nǹkan tí n bá sọ but nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ fáwọn àgbẹ̀ alákọ̀wé yẹn ni wípé kinní kan wà tá a máa ń pè ní extension service advisory service ó wà nírú ẹ̀ ní ọ̀gádẹ́pùn bíi gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ lónìí so adẹ̀ni ní FUNAB náà ìwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti ṣe òun náà máa ń sọ fáwọn irú àgbẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń ṣèdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún wọn pé irú irè oko báyìí ló tún ti jáde o ìkan wà tó ń pè ní extra early maturing maize tó jẹ́ wípé láàrin oṣù méjì ó ti tó yà
àgbàdo ti jẹ́
so ẹ̀dẹ̀ lè gbìn ní iye ìgbà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbìn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń harvest kan ẹ̀ tún máa tún kan nǹkan tó ń pè ní pé èèyàn wà climate smart pé èèyàn jáfáfá ju ojú ọjọ́ tó ń yí padà lọ so irú yẹn èèyàn ti irú àwọn ìwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ yẹn ó yẹ kán máa kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ alákọ̀wé yẹn kán máa mú lò kinní kan tiẹ̀ wà tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ní UNAB nsìn nípa bá a ṣe lè máa gba àwọn àgbẹ̀ nímọ̀ràn we call it climate information service so climate information service yẹn a máa sọ fún wọn ní irú èyí tí NIMET ń sọ yẹn àti ṣe àwọn pé generally làwọn sọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ẹ̀rọ kan wà tó yẹ kó lè wo ojú ọjọ́ tó lè sọ wípé ní ìwọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú báyìí àbí lọ́jọ́ báyìí òjò máa rọ̀ ní Ọ̀dẹ́dá òjò máa rọ̀ níbi báyìí so based on analysis tán bá ṣe wọ́n lè rí so irú àwọn àgbẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n lè key into that tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn information yẹn a lè máa send ẹ̀ sórí ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká wọn tó máa fi mọ̀ pé báyìí ni then ó possible kó jẹ́ pé wọ́n rírú nǹkan kan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bóyá torí kìí ṣe òjò nìkan ni ojú ọjọ́ tó yí padà máa mú ló jẹ́ ìpèníjà àwọn kòkòrò míì tá a rí fún àpẹẹrẹ níbi láti 2016 wọ́n discover armyworm ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n ìkan wà tán ní bóyá ó fẹ́ láti orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà wá bí ni o bóyá nìkan ló pààkì ẹ̀ mọ́ kíní ni
mẹ́rù wá.
ní gbogbo ọdún tí a bá ti ń gbin àgbàdo báyìí ó máa ṣọ́ká àgbàdo yẹn jáde á dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ so ó ti cost millions of dollars IIT Ìbàdàn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ti kọ́kọ́ discover kó tó pé ọdún kan ó ti spread sí South Africa so gbogbo irú àwọn ojú ọjọ́ tó lè gba irú àwọn kìíní láàyè wọ́n ti ṣe àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ fún wọn wọ́n á dẹ̀ ti sọ fún wọn irú apakòkòrò tán lè lò so ó possible gan kan tẹ̀ sọ fún wọn pé ìgbà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbin ohun ọ̀gbìn yín o àkókò báyìí ní kẹ́ gbìn kẹ́ fi lè avoid kòkòrò yìí so àìsàn tàbí kòkòrò tó lè kọ́ sí ní táwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní economic injury fún àwọn tó ń produce yẹn gbogbo irú ìgbà nímọ̀ràn yìí òun náà lè rí látọ̀dọ̀ wa. So ìyẹn nìkan kọ́, àwọn àgbẹ̀ kéékèèké tẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn gan àti mú extension yìí lọ bá wọn. So kìnnì kan wà tí à ń try ti ṣe nísìn ká organize wọn sí nǹkan tó ń pè ní climate smart village. So climate smart village yẹn àwọn àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n mọ̀, a kàn rò pé wọ́n kàwé ni wọ́n gbọ́n
ọlọ́pọlọ.
lábá lè ṣàlàyé fún wọn pé bó ṣe rí nì wọ́n á dán wò, wọ́n á dẹ̀ rí wípé ọ̀nà àbáyọ wà. So gbogbo irú àwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ní ìwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ yẹn ló yẹ kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ yìí kan máa mọ̀ lóòrèkóòrè, káwọn gan tán bá ríru kòkòrò yẹn tàbí tán bá rí nǹkan tí wọn ò mọ̀ rí tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n lè text yẹ kan send yẹ nǹkan báyìí ni mò ń rí o, àwọn yẹn á wò, tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan tó ń ti mọ̀ ni wọ́n á sọ solution fún wọn, tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n ti mọ̀ ni wọ́n á mú lọ sínú lab, wọ́n á sáré lọ yẹ̀ wò, wọ́n wá padà wá bá wọn wípé nǹkan báyìí ni kẹ́ ẹ ṣe.
All sounds interesting. You've spoken about the climate smart, being climate smart, and then you're trying to get them into climate smart villages. You've spoken about climate information services. You've spoken about even the extension services that we all have known over time. But I'd like to now take a slant to it. How in all of this will this help, or can it help the farmer become more resilient at this time to deal with these changes?
Of course, information empowers. If you have knowledge of when to plant, when not to plant, you are able to avoid a lot of losses or what a disaster. So with information, with knowledge, the farmers will become more equipped to be able to fight whatever impact the climate is bringing. So, and then there is one thing we call emerging innovations from the farmers themselves. As they work on the farm, they know by experience that this is how to manage this kind of situation. So these are some of the things that we need to also do. So there should be a kind of
two-way
collaboration between the scientists and the farmers. In fact, the industry should also be brought into the picture because they are the one that manufacture. I give you an example. This armyworm that I'm talking about, they discovered that ordinary insecticide could not deal with them. Because, in fact, some of them were dropped inside some of this liquid insecticide, and they were swimming there. Until there was a kind of concoction, of a mixture of several chemicals. And that produced what we call synergy, a kind of synergy that was able to capture, and that's very, very effective.
For the armyworm?
Yes, for the armyworm. So there are there's the possibility that if there is a very cordial relationship between the scientists, the farmers, and the industry, the farmers will become more resilient. They'll be able to fight. They will have knowledge of when to plant and what to do to be able to conquer a particular challenge that the climate is bringing.
Mr. Yeshola, you're Director Tree Crops and Rural Development Services. Now let's look at new crop varieties, because in all of this, I'm sure maybe that would come to play in food security. So what can we do with looking at new crop varieties with climate change?
Excellent. We have the drought resistant crops already available. Apart from the early maturing, the drought resistant, and even the drought is coming, we'll be able to withstand whether the drought, even the flood resistance kind of the crops, or adaptable crops. So those are the kind of from the research, and it's available too. The real area that we are missing it, including the farmers, the ingenious way we produce, we have left it. You mentioned something now that the diseases that is happening, or the pests, they are adapt to the chemicals we are using. What is way out? There's what we call ecosystem-based adaptation-driven agriculture. And I'm the national president of that treaty from the United Nations Environment Program.
Yes.
We are telling the farmers that If the ecosystem, let me give a hypothetical example. Planting maize crop, plant maize and cassava. The diseases that is susceptible to cassava is different from disease or pest that is susceptible to maize.
Maize.
So when you plant those two together, you are keeping the ecosystem. Deep-rooted crops and the shallow-rooted crop, the nutrient will be taken at different times. At times we bring leguminous crop, like I first said, and we fix nitrogen. The nutrient the farmers also, the other plants also need. So the use of these fertilizers that is causing part, because one of the greatest greenhouse gases among those that are causing it are nitrogen from fertilizer. So when we consider what we call the ecosystem, keeping the ecosystem, we can't do anyhow. If there's going to be a wrong stream coming out, those things will be able to withstand, improve the resilience. So I'm advising, and we are there, they can come for details on how do we go about the ecosystem-based adaptation-driven agriculture. It's a climate-smart approach, just like we are talking of agroforestry. In recent time, let me be sincere with you, we'll be competing land for agriculture, physical infrastructures. Where do we go from there? Land degradation neutrality concept must come in, where you consider tree crops, you consider edible crops, you consider a crop that is economical for the farmers to get things and get done. So there's a lot to be done. I love and I'm ready for this coming out of this program. I think we need to do more of this sensitization to our farmers, even from the media perspective. Thank you.
What would you like to add? Because I saw you nodding, Dr. Oyedepo.
well,
You agree in total?
Yes, he has said almost everything that we need to do. But I will just add to what he is saying, that we need to educate our people on land use management. Many of us will just open the farm. The farm may be on the slope, and then you have a lot of soil loss during the rain. So we need to teach them what we call contour bonding, how you create that contour such that it will arrest the runoff from depleting the surface of your farm. And like he said, you can even use that to harvest the runoff into a particular ditch where you can use it later when there is a drought. Then apart from that, there's what we call agroforestry now, that people are planting trees. They are planting it such that, because trees have a way of recharging the aquifer and also contributing to rainfall. Why are we having late onset of rain now? It's because the evapotranspiration that is supposed to come from the plant to go to the air so that there will be condensation, and then at saturation point there's rainfall. They are no longer there. I've caught everything, we set the bush on fire, and then the whole place is becoming bare. In fact, I was reading a particular document on the Sahara Desert, and there was a scenario, there was a kind of simulation that was done, and they discovered that most of those deserts were actually heavy rainfall, many
decades,
centuries. But you see what is happening to us now in the north. There's desert encroachment, gradual desert encroachment. If you go to Lake Chad, the portion where there is water now is not in Nigeria. The portion where that lake used to be shared by I think 3 countries.
3 countries.
Chad, Cameroon, and Nigeria. The portion where we have water now is not within Nigerian territory. So because almost everywhere is dry. So, and that's why the government is thinking of pumping water or channeling water back to the Lake Chad. Why are we losing water? It's because most of this vegetation, they are no longer there. So the government is also thinking of what we call the Green Wall from Senegal up to Ethiopia, about 3 kilometers thick. That's the breadth. But the length will run across the continent like that. So it's because they want to stop desert encroachment. And if care is not taken, we are going to, now this place used to be rainforest, is now derived savanna. If care is not taken, from the ripe savanna, it becomes grassland, and then gradually it becomes a desert. So we have to be careful when you cut down trees, and I see them doing that a lot here. Those who will make charcoal, those who are going to just cut wood, the wood that are no longer timber, they are even picking sticks now, not even poles. They have removed all the timbers, they have gone there to remove the poles, they are now going to gather sticks. So by the time we finish all these things, we'll be exposing ourselves to problem. So thank you, sir.
All right. Alàgbà Oyèṣọlá, ọ̀dọ̀ yín ni mo ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, a ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ káàkiri, ìjọba ìdàgbàsókè wà lára ìjọba ìbílẹ̀. Ká tiẹ̀ wá wò ká dá dúró sórí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ògùn. Ṣùgbọ́n tún ti láwọn kan tó jáde lábẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀. Ìjọba ìdàgbàsókè tó 37. Àwọn yẹn ká sì dá wọn padà sábẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ ká wo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan láti ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Abẹ́òkúta, ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Abẹ́òkúta, ti Gúúsù tàríwá. Ṣàpá àwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ kan wà àwọn òlóko bí àwọn tó wà nígboro bí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde, ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Gúúsù Abẹ́òkúta, oko òpọ̀ bó bá tiẹ̀ wà. Ṣùgbọ́n mo mọ̀ pé Àríwá Abẹ́òkúta lóko, Odò Ògbólú lóko. Ká mú àwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ yẹn, àwọn nǹkan wo ni àwọn èèyàn lè ṣe ń bẹ̀ tí òfin ní ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ohun tá à ń gbìyànjú láti sọ yìí kébi má pàlú ni o. Torí tí ọ̀gbìn wa bá ṣe dáadáa, ebi ò ní pa wá. Ibi tá a dẹ̀ ń bá lọ yìí, ebi ń bọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn àlàyé tẹ̀ ń ṣàgbékalẹ̀ yìí. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kébi pa wá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo àwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀.
Ṣẹ́rí kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run ò ṣe fún.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àfẹ́yìn tó bá ní ti tòun tó.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àwọn ìbílẹ̀ tó yẹ pé wọn ò nílẹ̀, wọn ní omi. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lè ṣe nǹkan ọ̀gbìn, ẹsẹ̀ ẹja sísìn. Lẹ́yìn ìkùlé, wọ́n ti sọ lẹ́yìn ìkùlé wa. Irú èmi mo ṣe jó mo jẹ́ pé 3 crops gbígbìn ni mo jẹ́. Mo ní ilé ẹja lẹ́yìn ìkùlé mi tó lè raise over 10,000 fish. Ìyẹn concrete. Tọ́ máa rí pé bí Ìjẹ̀bú waterside yẹn tán ní omi, ẹja ní kan concentrate. A máa ń pè kankan ní comparative advantage. Ibi táwọn ti ní ìkíní nìyẹn. Ẹni tí bàbá ẹ̀ ò tapá kí ó lè máa ta.
Ó ní ohun tí bàbá ẹ̀ ń tà bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Kò yé a gbọ́dọ̀ kọrí síbì kan náà, ọ̀nà pọ̀ ojú ọ̀run ó tẹ́yẹ fò. Káwọn náà concentrate, tá a bá wò pé Abẹ́òkúta kò sí hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ pé nǹkan a máa ń pè kan ní kò ṣe pé èèyàn wà fún bẹ́ẹ̀ pé nǹkan gbíngbìn nìkan, value addition pé wọ́n process. A lè concentrate ní Abẹ́òkúta ọmọ Ẹ̀gbá ni pé ok ní Ẹ̀gbá ń bíbá yìí o àwọn kò ṣètò kan wà ẹ ṣáà máa kó òtẹ́lẹ̀ ká máa bá yín add value to yìí ká máa export ní tiwa owó máa tó dé síbẹ̀. Processing we can add value to all those things they are producing there. Advantage tiwa nìyẹn. Hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì pọ̀ ń bí a máa rí ta dáadáa ju even ọ̀dọ̀ wọn lọ. So oníkálukú ló ní tiwa ní pé ká study comparative advantage. Odògbó ló ní ẹ wo ipò kí á sì wọ́n níbẹ̀ ní Òjò bí mo ṣe rí 21st Òjò òun àti Ìjẹ̀bú waterside bẹ̀rẹ̀ lójó máa ti kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kí ni àǹfààní tó ń kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ jẹ́ ń bẹ̀ lẹ́yìn máa kọ́kọ́ wò. So plan wa ìyẹn gangan ni kókó ká dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé bíbá yìí ni a ní àǹfààní sí pé ojú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Would you want to add something because we have to round off now?
Okay. Bóyá kí wọ́n lẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé gbogbo wa la ní ohun tí agbára wa kàtà lè ṣe.
True.
So nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kàn sọ fún wọn fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ni wípé ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ yẹn kàn wo nǹkan tí wọ́n lè ṣe. Tẹ́ bá ń kọjá ní Kótópó ẹ máa rí ibì kan tó ń ṣe àwọn ilé kéékèèké kan sí tó dàbí screen. Mo ti ń sọ wípé irú àwọn kan báyìí ló yẹ kí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ṣe kàn ṣe kó pọ̀ síbẹ̀. Then tán bá ṣe tán produce bóyá tomato làwọn ń ṣe níbí company tó ń process tomato sínú agolo ó máa wá sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wọn nígbà tó bá ti mọ̀ pé òrèkóòrè làwọn máa kó kinní yẹn jáde fún ẹ má tà síbòmíì ẹ jọ̀ọ́ èmi màá bá yín ṣe ń bì. Ìyẹn máa pèsè iṣẹ́ fáwọn èèyàn. Mo wà níbì kan tó ń sọ wípé agric Nàìjíríà ó ní potential ó ní ipá láti produce láti àdìkún tá à ń pè ní GDP wa 17 trillion ní ọdún kan. Oúnjẹ tá à ń import mú wò ní àìpẹ́ bí fún crop nǹkan mẹ́rin péré à ń ná 1.3 trillion irú rice 1 billion per day.
That has even come down now.
ẹsẹ kẹ máa wo irú wheat táwọn flour àbí kíní tán import yẹn ẹja gbogbo ẹ billions of naira 635 náà pé ti wheat tẹ́lẹ̀ so tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá fẹ́ discourage pé importation àwa fúnra wa ń láti ready láti produce so gbogbo local government yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àwọn company àwọn oníṣẹ́ aládàáni wọ́n á wá bẹ̀ láti wá take up kíní yẹn.
Well, I'd like to thank the two gentlemen. You've spoken brilliantly in looking at climate change and food security. Though it is serious, what has been said, but we are not in a hopeless situation. That I think I take away from our discussion this morning. We'd like to thank both of you, Mr. James Oyishola, Director Tree. Sorry?
I think next time we need to continue the next video so that the breakdown of the predictions can be.
Yes, we'll take it again soon. We'll come back again soon. Break it down. Yeah. Mr. James Oyishola is Director, Tree Crops and Rural Development Services, Ministry of Agriculture, and he also is the National President, United Nations Environment Ecosystem-Based Adaptation for Food Security Assembly, Nigeria. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Dr. John Oyedepo is from the Institute of Food Security, Environment Resource and Agricultural Research, all under FUNAB.
Yes.
Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you for inviting us.
Ó tọ́ lẹ́nu ó kù síkù lágbára Ọlọ́run láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà àtúnṣe kẹsẹ́yìn méjèèjì tí àjọ máa jókòó torí ogunlọ́gọ̀ àwọn èèyàn àtúwà nílé ó yẹ ká gbà pé kí wọ́n lè béèrè kò sí àyè yẹn láàárọ̀ yìí láìpẹ́ olóòtú àṣẹ ètò yẹn. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni James Oyèṣọlá mo dúpẹ́ gidigidi lọ́wọ́ yín iwájú lọ́pàá ibi tí a máa rí sí o. Bákan náà ni mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀mọ̀wé John Oyedepo ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ ẹ kú dìde ọpọlọ yín ò ní jọba o ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll be looking at the minimum wage, what are the emerging issues, and after that, we still have a third segment of discussion. See you again.